Right then, this should be fun. As you can see, I'm trying the Crisis of VRigade 2 again. This time using the DualShock 4. Let's see if it's playable at all, and if so, you know, what kind of experience we can look forward to. I don't hold out much hope for this, given the issues I've just experienced with the floating. We'll give it a go, we'll see what happens. That's all we can do. I mean, it might surprise us, it might actually work very well. I don't expect it to. I am seated. And that might work against us, but do you know what I mean? I'm basically holding the DualShock 4 in my right hand. I haven't got my left hand on the DualShock 4 at all. I'm just basically holding it as if it was a Move controller, one-handed. R2 to shoot, R1 to reload. We'll see how we get on. I'm seated, I'm not moving to my left, to my right. I'm not going to stand up because my knees are just not up to it. They're simply not. And I'm sure there's many other players out there, for whatever reason, have the same limitations with regards to mobility. You know, up and down, you know, the knees may allow them to do it, but at my age, yes, I could, if it was life dependent, possibly manage to do it over a very short period of time. Beyond that, a struggle. And it is a struggle, so I'm sitting and I'm dying, and you've witnessed how long I lasted. Just probably, you know, somewhat down to me not fully concentrating on what I'm doing, and somewhat down to the fact that I'm having to attempt to play the game seated. Which means, you know, I'm more likely, I would have thought, than less likely to take damage, to take a bullet. I would have thought so. I think that's a fair assumption. You know, I really would. At least while I'm dying, I'm not in a lot of discomfort rolling around on the floor, or putting undue stress on my knees, you know. At least I'm not doing that while I'm dying, you know, because that adds insult to injury. And no one likes being insulted while they're being injured, you know. I know I don't. That's 2 lives I've used. Possibly avoidable, possibly, you know, had I been aiming better, maybe. Maybe not. I expect to die very quickly here, the way this part of the game is set up. I truly do. Look at that. And there it is. I'm dead. It's even got the audacity to put on wait. After you've died, no less. Not just before you can start returning fire, but after you've died, it's got the audacity to put wait on. Something needs to be addressed with regards to this wait. I don't say why you should have to wait, or why you would even want to. Someone's you know, stood in the game shooting at you, you should be able to shoot back, surely, without having to wait. You wouldn't wait around in real life to just take fire from an enemy. Look, I'm getting shot there. 3 or 4 seconds have rolled by before I've got the opportunity to shoot back. That wouldn't happen. You wouldn't expect anyone in this situation to just stand in the line of fire and wait without the ability to shoot back. Why would you? Why would you ask someone to do that? Why would you design a game and program it with that as a feature? It's not clever, it's not necessary, and it certainly isn't helpful. In fact, it's the opposite of all of those. It's unnecessary. It's unhelpful. And I don't know why it's in there. Look at it, wait, again, wait. While the blink teleportation takes you around 2 or 3 corners to your next shootout before you're forced to wait again. Yeah, wait. And all the time you look at that. All the time, by the way, you hunkered down and you're putting pressure on your knees while you're waiting. You know, there'll be a lot of people with sore knees as a result of playing this. Truthfully. I don't know what just went on behind us, but it sounded like there was an explosion. I'm not going to turn around and look because I need to pay attention to what's in front of us and around us without trying to pay attention to what might be behind us, you know. Bearing in mind this is the DualShock 4 I'm using. Bearing in mind this is the DualShock 4. It's not an aim controller, and nor is it a move controller. Bearing in mind it's the DualShock 4, which I would expect to track worse than the 2 peripherals that I've just mentioned, the aim and the move. And bearing in mind I'm just holding it in one hand, as if it was a move controller. It appears to be actually tracking probably better than those other 2 purpose-built, well, I'm saying purpose-built, the move controllers, they're not purpose-built for this. They're truthfully not. The move controllers are old PS3 technology, which is, it just so happens to, in a limited kind of aspect, depending on the type of game you're playing, it just so happens to, and I'm using inverted commas here, it just so happens to work with PSVR. It works better on some games than it does on others. And when I say work, I don't mean it's reliable. You know what I mean. So, given the fact that this is the DualShock 4, I'm very, very surprised. Pleasantly so. Pleasantly surprised that it's actually tracking, in inverted commas, tracking as well as it is. And I thought I'd be struggling to the point where it was unplayable, but it's actually not. It's probably doing a better job than, like I say, the aim controller and the moves. I'm not experiencing any of the drift I was on my last video, where the M controller was just drifting several feet away from where I was standing and sitting, to the point where, you know, that was unfortunate. To the point where it was like a couple of meters away, and it was drifting through the scenery, it was drifting through walls. Yeah, it was. Oh, if you've seen the video, you'll know how bad it was yourselves. So there may be some kind of redemption here, folks, unexpected. If you don't have an aim controller, if you do not have the move controllers, and I know many people don't because they are quite hard to find, you know, and you insist on wanting to try this game and play it, it is playable with the DualShock 4. And if you've got more mobility than me, if your knees is not as bad as mine, and you can sort of crouch down behind cover in that, the way I can't, then you may well find that the game is not just playable but enjoyable. And if that's the case, I'm very, very happy for you. Honestly, I am, because, you know, money does not grow on trees. It truly doesn't. And yes, the game is $15.99. I think it's competitively priced. I really do. It could have been $29.99. It could have been more. But no. $15.99. If you can find a way, well, firstly, if you're able to move around as required to get the best out of the game, that's taking cover behind bins and the like. If your knees are up to it, I'm tempted to say buy it and give it a go. But if your knees are not up to it, like mine, it's really up to you whether or not you want to spend $15.99 and hope for the best, whether or not you're able to play the game, or whether or not you're going to struggle like I do. I'll leave that up to you. I can't tell you what to do. Whether, you know, whether you think it's worth your money or not is truthfully up to yourself. After this video is over, I might tweak the camera a little bit and continue on playing with the DualShock 4, because if I can tweak the camera a little bit more and potentially adjust the chair that I'm sitting in just a little bit more, and we're not talking about massive changes, just little bits here, then you know, then there might be more of an incentive to carry on putting the time into this, practicing to try and get better, and hopefully getting through this first level that I'm still stuck on. And if that happens, I'll be very happy, and I'll be very happy to let you know about it, because I don't like being negative about any game, but I do like to keep people informed about problems that I'm incurring and that they might incur as well. So thanks very much indeed for watching, guys. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.